The NFL is over. The NBA doesn't matter yet. The NHL doesn't matter yet. Baseball hasn't even started. The only thing that's going to matter here next month is a couple of basketball games at the college level. Other than that, the UFC is the only game in town. My name is Angelo. This is We Want Picks. I'm going to give you my PrizePicks entry for UFC Vegas 102. If you don't know what PrizePicks is, it's daily fantasy. You come in here, you say more or less than any of the numbers you see on the screen, and if you're correct, you can make a whole bunch of money. It's super easy, it's super flexible, it's a ton of fun, and they'll even give you real money for free to give it a try. The only thing you need to do is go to wewantpicks.com/prizepicks, use promo code WWP, and you can get yourself $50 for free. All you do is build yourself one little $5 entry. Just do a nice little two-leg that you trust for $5, and you will instantly have $50 ready to go in your account to use on whatever you want. That's wewantpicks.com/prizepicks, promo code WWP. You can see here, it's all the sports. We've lost a few over the weekend, but we got some college sports, some tennis, darts. If you just are sitting there and you know anything about darts other than that heavy English dude that comes out to the Fire Away song, then you can go ahead and do yourself a dart entry, but we're going to focus on UFC Vegas 102. Listen, I can't fight for these people. I can't game plan for these people. I can't guarantee outcomes of anything. What I can do, though, is look at the fights, look at the fighters, look at the data, and draw some logical conclusions. And doing that, I think we're going to go higher or more on Angelo Hill's significant strike line. Let me run you through some stats. The strike line is 79.5. Seems pretty high, but that's who Angelo Hill is. If we look at her last fight, she was taken down 3 times in her last fight. And she still put up 112 significant strikes. A couple fights ago, she lost to Emily Ducote, beat Emily Ducote, put up 182 significant strikes. Before that, she spent a good amount of time grappling, got 5 offensive takedowns, was taken down 1 time, still got to this number. Angelo Hill is a high-volume striker. 79.5 is a scary number, but I think this fight goes to a decision. I think Angelo Hill lets her hands fly, and I think she cruises past this number. So we're going to trust the history. We're going to trust the data to lead us. The rest of these significant strike lines, I don't necessarily love. The only one I might consider is Jared Cannonier. He's at 53.5. If we do a similar exercise and we look at his fight history, he landed 83 in his last fight, 64 in the fight before that, 241, 141, 90, 55, 50, or 81, 53. You have to go all the way to September 2019 to where he got a second-round knockout over Jack Hermanson to where he did not hit this number. So you can go ahead and add Jared Cannonier if you'd like. I'll leave him here for the time being. But what we're actually going to do is bail on the significant strikes and go over to fight minutes. The only one I kind of like here is the over on Gabriel Bonfim, 9.5 fight minutes. Listen, Khaos Williams is a tough dude. Khaos Williams does hit really hard, but I think Gabriel Bonfim is also a pretty tough guy. So I think this fight's going to go a little longer. All we needed to do is get to the end of the second round, and we're good. And I think we do get that here. I think Khaos Williams is too tough, too durable, too good at takedown defense to just get absolutely sparked. And Gabriel Bonfim is also very tough and very good. And the only time he really got smoked is when he completely gassed. And even if he's completely gassing, that's not going to happen in the first 8.5 minutes of a fight. So I think we're good with the over 9.5 fight minutes. The rest of these I don't really love. Jose Delgado hits kind of hard. Conor Matthews a little chinny. That can go any direction. Main event, I just don't know. The over 12.5 seems pretty solid, but Gregory Rodrigues is a guy that can finish anybody. Jared Cannonier's 40 years old, but he still looks pretty good. So it's a lot of weirdness there. Dylan Budka, Edmund Shapazian, I wouldn't even look at that line, let alone bet on it. If we take a look at fantasy score, we had some success last week with a little bit of fantasy score action. And the only one I like here this week is Youssef Zalal. His fantasy score that I got was 77.5. If you're a premium member, you saw this entry before this video. We placed the entry, I don't know, minutes after these lines came out, honestly, and we got the over on 77.5. It is now 82.5. I still think we're okay with the over. If you want to see the scoring, let's go ahead and click the scoring chart. We all know Youssef Zalal at this point in his career is a very aggressive grappler, and I think he's going to come out and he's going to get a bunch of takedowns. I think he's going to attempt a bunch of submissions, whether he gets them or not. And I think he's definitely going to win this fight. What round he wins it in or how he wins it's obviously going to be an interesting situation, but I think he could potentially finish this fight. But even with a regular decision win, we're going to get 50 points. We're going to get a whole bunch of points for some takedowns. We're going to get points for significant strikes. We're going to get points for submission attempts. And I think that we're going to get a whole bunch of that. Sorry, not 50 points, 20 for the decision win. I think we're good. I think we're good on the over. So I like him in the over here. Obviously, I liked it a lot more at 77.5 than 82.5, but I still like it. And then we're going to go to takedowns. If we take a look at takedowns, we got Walter Walker at 2.5. I'm not going to touch that one. My gut is like, do the over. I'm not going to touch it, though. If you go through his fight history, there's not a lot to lean on. And he hasn't really cruised past this number just yet. But that's because quick submission, but he's fighting Dontel Mays, good takedown defense. He's also kind of a fat loser slob, so he might not even have 2.5 takedowns worth of cardio in him. We're going to leave the Walter Walker one alone. He might only need one takedown. He might only get one takedown before he's just completely gassed and given up. The Rafael Estevam line, I like with the more than 2.5. And the reason I like that is he is a high-pressure, aggressive wrestler, plenty of takedowns. Jesus Aguilar does not have good takedown defense. He'll jump guillotine every single time Rafael shoots. But Jesus is also very tough, so he'll take his beating. So I think this fight goes long. I think he gets taken down a bunch, and I think we're good with the over 2.5. I don't like the over 2.5 on Yusuf because I think Yusuf either finishes Calvin Kattar, and then he'll only need 1 or 2 takedowns, or if it does go to a decision, then the over 2.5 is probably good, but I'm leaning closer to the finish. But that's why the fantasy score is a little safer. This is the entry I've got for you. I'll show you the entry I already built. The only difference is I added the Jared Cannonier here. Here's the entry that I already built. You'll see that beautiful Yusuf Zalal 77.5 fantasy score line. We like the over on the takedowns for Rafael Estevam, the over on the fantasy score for Yusuf Zalal, the over on the fight minutes for Gabriel Bonfim, and the over on the significant strikes for Angelo Hill. And in the example I just gave you, we added a 5th line, which was the over on Jared Cannonier's strike line. If you like this entry, great. If you don't, that's fine too. Get your free money. Just get your free money. That's the big thing. Get your free money. Or take 1 or 2 of these that you really like. Like, you know what, Angelo? I do like the over 2.5 on Rafael Estevam. I do think Yusuf Zalal is going to score a lot of points. I don't know about the other 2. So let me just take those and make it a power play. So take those 2. Do a $5 entry. You will then instantly have $50 from PrizePicks, 50 in your account. Then you can get wild with the 50. That's not your money. Do whatever you want with it. WeWantPicks.com/PrizePicks, promo code WWP. Get the free money. WeWantPicks.com/PrizePicks.